Today, we're diving into the world of the ISFJ personality type, often called the protector. If you've ever wondered what makes someone so caring, dependable, and quietly impactful, you're about to find out. Maybe you're an ISFJ yourself, or you've got one in your life. The friend who always remembers your birthday, the coworker who stays late to help, or the family member who keeps everyone together. This video is all about unpacking who ISFJs are, what drives them, and how they shine in their own unique way. We're going to explore what defines an ISFJ, the traits that make them special, the careers where they thrive, and how they navigate love, friendships, and family. It's a deep dive, so grab a snack, get comfy, and stick around. There's a lot to unpack. Plus, at the end, I'll share some tips for ISFJs and anyone who knows one. If you enjoy this, hit that like button and subscribe. It means the world to me and keeps this channel growing. Let's jump in. So, what's an ISFJ all about? In the Myers-Briggs system, ISFJ stands for introverted, sensing, feeling, and judging. Picture someone who's a little reserved but deeply thoughtful, someone who notices every detail around them and cares about how people feel. That's the ISFJ in a nutshell. They're introverted, meaning they recharge best alone, or with a small trusted circle, not the type to crave the spotlight or big crowds. They're sensing, so they focus on what's real and tangible, the here and now stuff they can see and touch, rather than chasing wild theories or far-off possibilities. Feeling drives their decisions. They lead with their heart, always considering how their choices affect the people around them. And judging means they love structure, routines, and knowing what's coming next. Put that all together, and you've got the protector, a personality that's warm, steady, and wired to support others. ISFJs make up a decent chunk of the population, around 13%, so you've probably crossed paths with one. They're the ones quietly holding things together, whether it's remembering your coffee order from 3 months ago, or making sure the family reunion goes off without a hitch. What's amazing about ISFJs is how they blend practicality with this deep, almost instinctive care for others. They're not flashy about it, but their impact is huge. Think of them as the unsung heroes in everyday life, always there when you need them, often without you even asking. Does this sound like you or someone you know? Drop a comment and tell me what you think makes ISFJs so special. I'd love to hear your take. Let's get into what really defines an ISFJ. These folks have a set of traits that make them stand out in the best way. First off, they're incredibly loyal. Once an ISFJ commits to a friend, a partner, a job, they're in it for the long haul. They value stability and tradition, so they're not the type to flake or chase the next shiny thing. This loyalty comes from a place of genuine care, and it's something you can feel when you're around them. Then there's their empathy. ISFJs have this knack for picking up on how others feel, almost like they've got an emotional antenna. If you're upset, they'll sense it before you say a word and know just how to comfort you. Whether it asks a listening ear or a warm hug, it's not fake or forced, it's who they are. Pair that with their attention to detail, and you've got someone who doesn't miss much. They'll spot the typo in your presentation. Remember you mentioned loving lavender, and bring it up months later with a little gift. It's those small, thoughtful acts that show how much they notice. Laloi ISFJs are also super practical. They're not here for pie-in-the-sky ideas. They want to know what works, what's useful, and how they can make it happen. If you need a plan carried out flawlessly, they're your go-to. And at the core of all this is their selflessness. ISFJs find real joy in helping others, often putting everyone else's needs ahead of their own. Picture a nurse staying late to reassure a scared patient, or a parent meticulously planning a kid's birthday party. That's ISFJ energy right there. But it's not all perfect. Every strength has a flip side. Because they care so much, ISFJs can take criticism to heart, replaying it over and over, wondering what they did wrong. They also tend to avoid conflict, preferring to keep things peaceful even if it means swallowing their own feelings. And change? That's tough for them. They love their routines and predictability, so a sudden shift, like a new job or a move, can throw them off balance. These aren't flaws, just part of what makes them human. Take my friend Sarah, for example. She's an ISFJ through and through. Last year, she organized a whole community event, food, decorations, everything, without breaking a sweat. But when someone casually said the timing could have been better, she spent days worrying she'd let everyone down. That's the ISFJ mix. Amazing dedication, but sometimes they're too hard on themselves. If you're an ISFJ, this might hit home, and if you know one, it's a reminder of how much heart they put into everything. Let's get into ISFJs and relationships, because this is where they really glow. In love, ISFJs are the partners you dream about. They show affection through actions, planning a perfect date, fixing something you didn't know was broken, or just being there when you're down. They're all about commitment, not casual flings. Stability and trust are everything to them. If you're dating an ISFJ, you'll feel cared for in ways you didn't expect, like them remembering you hate cilantro and never letting it near your plate. But there's a catch. ISFJs can struggle to voice their own needs. They'll give and give, sometimes forgetting to ask for what they want back. So if you're with an ISFJ, check in. Make sure they're not just going along to keep you happy. Types like ESFJs or ENFJs pair well with them, sharing that warm, people-focused energy. Even an ISTP can work, bringing a chill balance to the ISFJ's nurturing side. In friendships, ISFJs are gold. They're the ones you call when life's a mess, and they'll drop everything to listen. They don't need a huge crew, just a few close pals they can trust. Quality time is their thing, like a quiet hike or a night in with takeout. They're not big on confrontation though, so if something's off, you might need to nudge them to open up. I've got an ISFJ friend who once spent hours helping me move, then apologized for not bringing water. Like, who does that? That's their heart showing. Families where ISFJs anchor themselves. They're the ones keeping traditions alive. Thanksgiving at their place, every year, same recipes, same love. As parents, siblings, or kids, they take their roles to heart, building a home that's safe and steady. My ISFJ aunt still sends handwritten cards for every holiday, and it's the highlight of my mailbox. But sometimes, they hold back their feelings to avoid tension, which can build up over time. Clear, gentle communication keeps things smooth. Here is a moment that stuck with me. An ISFJ I know threw their partner a surprise anniversary dinner, planned to the last detail. The partner loved it, but offhandedly said they'd rather keep it simple next time. The ISFJ smiled, said, "Okay," but later admitted it stung. It's a reminder. They pour so much in, and a little appreciation goes far. If you're an ISFJ, what's your go-to way to show you care? Or if you've got an ISFJ in your life, what's the sweetest thing they've done? Let's swap stories in the comments. Before we wrap up, let's talk about thriving as an ISFJ or supporting one. If you're an ISFJ, self-care is huge. You're a natural giver, but you've got to recharge too. Block off some time just for you. Read a book, take a walk, whatever fills your cup. Don't feel guilty about it. You deserve it. Speaking up can feel tricky, but it's worth it. Practice small stuff, like saying you'd rather stay in than go out. Your voice matters. And change? It's scary, sure, but you're tougher than you think. Take it slow, one step at a time, and you'll adapt like you always do. If you've got an ISFJ in your life, show them some love. A quick thanks for being you lights them up. They don't always fish for praise, but they feel it deeply. Be patient if they're slow to open up or rattled by surprises. Give them space to process, and they'll come around. Respect their routines too. Those little habits keep them grounded. Tossing them into chaos without warning is like unplugging their charger mid-use. I saw this play out with an ISFJ coworker. She'd stayed late fixing everyone's messes, never complaining. One day, I left her a note saying how much her work saved us. She beamed all week. It's that simple. See them, and they'll keep shining. And that's ISFJ Explained. These protectors bring so much heart, loyalty, and quiet strength to the world. Whether you're an ISFJ figuring yourself out or someone lucky enough to know one, I hope this gave you a fresh perspective. They're the backbone of so many lives, often without fanfare, and that's what makes them incredible. What stood out to you? Are you an ISFJ or have a favorite ISFJ moment to share? Tell me in the comments. I read them all and love hearing from you. If this video clicked for you, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and tap the bell so you catch our next one. Want more MBTI deep dives? Shout out. Which type's next? I'm all ears. Thanks for hanging out with me today. You're the best. See you in the next video.